recently passed by the National Assembly. I'm declining assent to the bill because the broad regulatory ambit of the proposed National Transport Commission, NTC, over the operation and management of the vast Nigeria transport sector, subordinating all subsisting institutions and structures to the NTC conflicts with areas of regulatory oversight of the recently established Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. Wow. The bill seeks under Part 21, Section 110, subsection 1 and 2, to take away the authority of the Minister for Works as conferred by the Federal Highways Act in the management, direction, and control of federal highways in Nigeria and vest the power in the Commission. Provision of Section 107, subsection 3, 108, and the third schedule to the bill, which attempt to transfer the obligations and liabilities of the Nigeria Shippers Council to the Commission and transmute the Nigeria Shippers Council into the National Transport Commission are misconceived. The Commission should be established as a new entity in view of the required skill set and expertise for the performance of its regulatory function. Please accept the right Honorable Speaker, assurances of my highest considerations. Sincerely, President Muhammadu Buhari. Chairman Transport is not around. I thought this was an executive bill. It wasn't an executive bill. Okay. On a sad note, honorable colleagues, notification of date of Honorable Damian Ezinwa. Right to notify you, members of the House of Representatives, of the date of Honorable Surveyor Damina Ezinwa. Honorable Ezinwa was the member that represented Ahiezu in Zenhitembese Federal Constituency in 1983. He was an exceptional legislator, great thinker, philanthropist, and community leader who touched the lives of man that came his way. His remains will be laid to the Mother Earth on Friday, 3rd May 2019. Members are please invited. I respectfully request for a minute's silence in honor of our departed colleague. Announcer, Honorable Raphael Nana Ibokwe, Leader, Southeast Caucus of APC, House of Representatives. Honorable colleagues, as is the custom of this House, may we please rise to observe a minute's silence in honor of departed colleague. And may his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Any member who has a petition to present to the House may please rise to do so. Any petitions? There's none. We have 2 points of order. First from Honorable Aisha to Jubril Duku, the Gimbian Duku.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. May I come under Order 8, Rule 4, matters of urgent public importance, to move a motion on the urgent need to investigate the death of Boys Brigade boys during Easter procession in Gombe. The matter is very important and I feel it's urgent. I crave the indulgence of the Speaker and honorable members to take it so. Thank you.
Seconder to the motion that the matter is urgent, Honorable Kazim Mukaila.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Kazim. Representative Abelkuta and Otobafemi Ode and Odeda. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Seconding the motion, they will suspend rules to enable her take the motion now. Honorable Rano.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Mohammed Sani Ali. I'm from Kano State. I rise to second the second leg of this motion that this House to suspend our relevant rules to take this matter immediately. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Duku, you can now move your motion, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. I'm Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Gimbiar Duku, member representing Dukuna for the Federal Constituency. I come from Gombe State. The title of the motion is Urgent Need to Investigate the Death of Boys Brigade during the Easter procession in Gombe. The House notes the unfortunate incident that occurred on Sunday, 21st April 2019, that led to the death of innocent children during Boys Brigade procession in Gombe. The House also notes that the Boys Brigade were in a procession celebrating Easter in Gombe metropolis when a car rammed into them, killing 11 on the spot and injuring many others. The House observed that the driver of the car had a heated argument with the children before they made way for him to pass, only for him in a fit of rage to turn and drive into them. Disturbed that the driver of the car, who was later identified as an official of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, shot at the children before ramming into them. Concerned that the eyewitness report indicates that the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps official was drunk and plowed into the procession on purpose, the House resolves to 1. Urge the House to direct its Committee on Internal Affairs to investigate the matter, make appropriate recommendations, and report back in 2 weeks. 2. Urge the House to observe 1 minute silence for the souls of the deceased children. 3. Urge the House to extend condolence message to the people and government of Gombe State. I so move. Thank you.
Honorable Binta, Deputy Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand with a heavy heart to second the motion moved by my dear sister. I so second that the House investigates the cause of the deaths and the truth to be revealed to the people that lost their children. I so second.
Honorable Duku.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. As we speak now, there's a curfew in Gombe town as a result of this unfortunate incident. This curfew came about on Saturday when these boys, the deceased, were being taken for burial, and tension was raised by some youths when the Boys Brigade members were being taken for burial from the State Specialist Hospital, which led to the curfew. Honorable colleagues, while this kind of crisis continue to exhibit some connotations, some political, some religious, some ethnic, and portray a clear case of criminality in our society. We cannot sit down here and allow things to go out of place. The security agent was carrying a weapon, and then he was drunk, and then ran into these young children who were celebrating Easter. This should not be allowed to continue. I think there is need for a psychological balance test for security officers handling weapons, as this is a very sad situation for us, in Gombe. And I'm sure there are other excesses like that that is happening in around the country. I want to say that anybody who should carry a weapon should be psychologically balanced, and then if the person has to go and drink, I think there should be a rule, for him not to carry the weapon, because it seems he was fully conscious, though he was drunk, and though the people around took the law into their hands and killed not only the civil defense officer, even the person accompanying him in the car was also killed by the mob. And it was happening in the late hours, or early late hours of the night, let me say around 11:30 p.m. And this has resulted, right now as we speak, there is curfew in Gombe. Honorable colleagues, this ugly trend should not be allowed to continue. We as representatives of the people should live up to our expectations to make sure that our security agents are the right people to handle the weapons that are given to them, to man the country. Mr. Speaker, I commiserate with the parents of the deceased children. It is a painful thing for us, especially as mothers. The ages of the children range between 6 to 22 years. So these are children that we have popped in, to develop our dear state. And in a period whereby these children were out from their homes celebrating, it's a sad event. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I hope you will support this motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Binta Bello, representing the good people of Kaltungo Shango. I rise to commend my sister for bringing up this very important and devastating motion on the floor of the House. Gombe is being thrown in a very critical situation after what happened on that very fateful night. It is a night that will ever remain a black night in the history of Gombe, because we have never known religion crisis or any other thing. But due to the circumstance of what leads to the civil defense officer marching the boys' brigade, I wish to use this media to condemn his acts, although a jungle justice was taken that very fateful night. After he marched them, the people around killed him and his friend that was riding beside him. We condemn the act. We want to urge our honorable colleagues that let there be investigation, although the culprit is dead. But we heard that reliably when they were driving, 2 ladies are in the car. Possibly if the ladies can come out and testify to the committee, it will give a headlight to what actually happened. So I urge my colleagues that during the investigative hearing, if the opportunity is given, let the two ladies be invited as well as eyewitness to the first instance before they came back to kill the Boys Brigade boys. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any more contributor, Honorable M.T. Bonguno?
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Munguno. I represent Marke Munguno Ngazai, Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I really sympathize with the good people of Gombe State and of course the parents of the deceased children, and equally the relatives and friends of the civil defense officer that was also killed in a mob action. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, inasmuch as this motion is purely investigative, and inasmuch as I condemn the action of the civil defense officer that march on these innocent children in a state of intoxication, as clearly highlighted in the motion, we should urge Nigerians not to take the law into their hands, because two wrongs do not make a right. The Nigerian judicial system is adequately equipped and is adequately placed to dispense justice without fear or favor, and on all manners of people in accordance with the due process of the law as enunciated in our laws. So we call upon Nigerians generally, in such a scenario, they should not resort to mob action. Rather, they should allow the due process of the law to take its full course, so that justice will be administered on those that are found guilty in accordance with the due process of the law, because of the fact that our judicial system is adequately equipped to take care of such scenarios. That is my observation. Thank you.
Honorable Pajok.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Edward Pajok. I represent the South and the East. May I also join my respected colleagues in condemning these heinous crimes that occurred over Easter period. But Mr. Speaker, I will limit my intervention to just one or two areas. One is the issue that the sponsor of the motion, Honorable Aisha, mentioned about the need to train not only the NSDC officers, but generally our security officers. Mr. Speaker, how can someone that has been trained order to defend Nigerians and to ensure security be drunk while on duty? I am sure most of us here can testify that sometimes when we are driving, maybe in the course of a journey, you will meet some either police officers or even military men that are even drunk. Sometimes you are even scared how to even respond, because some of them will be trigger happy because of the effect of the either drugs or alcohol that they have taken, and at the slightest provocation they may not pull the trigger and then mow you down. Now this was someone that was driving a car, and allegedly because of the influence of alcohol, he now killed 11 innocent young Nigerians. This is the fundamental cause of the problem that led to the breakdown of law and order in parts of Gombe State. Of course, I do not subscribe to anyone taking the law into their hands, but they say, Mr. Speaker, that prevention is better than cure. We do know that anyone who has been recruited into the security service ought to be well trained. Part of the training let me use know-how, what is to ensure that there's that emotional and psychological balance. If you take alcohol during work, will it be psychologically and emotionally no balance? So I think that the internal security or the internal affairs committee should emphasize to all the agencies under their supervision, whether it's the civil defense, whether it's the police, whether it's the immigration, whether it's the customs, and indeed even the army and the navy and the others, that when it is time to work, they shouldn't take any psychotropic or substance or any substance that alters their thinking to the extent that they may lose control of their emotions or their reasoning faculties, which is what leads to this riotous situation. So I think that we should also look at even the laws or the regulations that regulate all these agencies to ensure that they are always emotionally controlled. Certainly, in some places we say we are not allowed not to smoke in this place, we are not allowed not to drink in this place. So there should be, I'm aware that for like in the police they usually do some parade in the morning, even this the civil defense. Maybe they should be doing regular parades after every 1 hour or 2 hours to ensure that none of them is drunk, so as not to cause any problems for other Nigerians. But the problem is sometimes even the senior officers themselves may also become so who will even supervise another person. Mr. Speaker, we have a very serious problem on our hands in our country. So I commend her for bringing this motion so that let us focus the light on that so that we do not lose the life of so many other innocent Nigerians. May the souls of all those who lost their lives that unfortunate incidents rest in perfect peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last one, this law, Honorable Nana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, in contributing to the motion, I think what is important about this motion, part of the spirit, is to once again bring to the fore the issue of high rates of extrajudicial killing on the side of the security agencies. In recent times, apart from this, we have also seen a number of cases as such. The burden with this parliament now is we have a duty through success to hold agencies accountable. And over the years, Mr. Speaker, we should be able to come out as a parliament to give a report of what the security agencies have been able to do as a result of issues of extrajudicial killings we have brought before this house. We are supposed to have a statistics. And if we don't hold these people responsible, what we only hear, they say wonders last only for 7 days. It's only that announcement by the CP, or we are sorry, they are being dismissed, and that ends it. Why are we following the actions taken to see that it's brought to logical legal conclusion, to see that those who are culpable are brought to book? And if this is not done, this will continue to repeat. I sympathize with the new IG. I will observe he has started making initiative to see how to withdraw ballistic weapons from officers and now bring other light weapons. Now the issue is how soon will that start, because more lives are going to be lost. And we want to encourage it, and that's why we are here. We are ready to partner with any government agency in any way they need legislative support to give them the legislative framework for these things to come into action. And let me ask the IG, the initiative you've taken, have you been able to form parliament? We are here now, we are almost past the 2019 budget. If this is not captured, where do you want to take care of that? And that is why it's important to continue to engage the parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, it will not end in condoling with the family, and what are we going to do to see that this unfortunate incident is curtailed and the authorities are taking it serious to get their officers to work according to rules of engagement. And this is it. So we have to come out with a report as a country, as a parliament. And Mr. Speaker, this is one of the requirements of the IPU on how we are championing the protection of the rights of citizens of our country. And I want to charge, I will appeal to my colleague, in the prayer she made, I want to believe she meant Committee on Interior. But I would have also loved the Committee on Human Rights to also be joined so that a thorough investigation is done on it, and we'll be able to also put the authorities on their toes for them to know we are monitoring everything they are doing about this and every other cases that had come up in such a way. We sympathize with the family and the people of Gombe and the Boys Brigade, of course, of a unfortunate incident, and the Nigerian youth and the young parliamentarians will be ready to partner with my colleague in monitoring the committee on interior with the leave of the speaker to see that these people are brought to book. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Yunus, and then Honorable Akila, they will round up for us. Honorable Yunus, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Abubakar Yunusa, representing Yamal Tudeba Federal Constituency of Gombe State. I really threw my weight behind this motion, Mr. Speaker, my dear distinguished colleagues. This ugly incident actually happened during the procession, as it has been said by the mover of the motion. I sympathetically say I am also a victim because I lost some of my relatives. Really, the investigative action of a part of this motion should really find out the role of religious leaders and probably emphasize the way they go about conducting public activities. One should have investigated that such a very important procession in a very important moment like the Easter shouldn't have been conducted without the presence of the law enforcement agent. If the police were contacted, they could have at least provided and some other law enforcement agent to guarantee the safety of the procession. And if the law enforcement agent like the police are around, normally like we see, giving cover to people that are making procession, somebody, anybody wouldn't have come and rammed into them. So at least I am really, in as much as I am deeply touched and I really sympathize with the victims, parents and relatives, then that call for concern that the religious leaders should have been apt and doing and be proactive. So in as much as I support this motion, I wish that in the prayers we should have also come out to recommend the way religious procession should be conducted, and then in the full regalia of the law enforcement agent. Because for somebody to have come, that was not the first time when you went, I investigated personally. This person came and passed. When they returned, I learned that they went to drop their friend, either girl or male, whatever. Now when there was a kind of an exchange of word, when they passed and returned, they have some exchanges again before this guy, whether drunk or not, decided to just ram into these people. If security personnel are around, they will have apprehended him. And a stitch in time saves nine. So in the investigation from the House, I crave the indulgence of this House, Mr. Speaker, to really critically look into that angle. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues. I am Adekunle Abdulkabir Akila, member representing the Egbado South Ipoka Federal Constituency of Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion as simply moved by Honorable Jubril Duku. Mr. Speaker, I know a lot has been said about this unfortunate incident, and I believe that no reason, no excuse.
Tell them we are doing procession. Is Easter, everybody.
Good enough for what happened. And I believe, and I want to recommend, Mr. Honorable Speaker, that all armed forces personnel, all personnel that carries arms across the country, be it army, be it the police, be it paramilitaries, that a regular evaluation of their state of mind should be done. Test of their temperament, profiling of their profiling to identify any form of mental challenge at the earlier stage. Mr. Speaker, I believe that if this is done regularly, the authorities will have been able to identify these individuals before they carry out this kind of versatile line of action. Every life counts, Mr. Speaker, regardless of the reasons, regardless of whatever the matter, the situation should have been. Every Nigerian life should count. When you kill anybody, regardless of any reason you want to give, Mr. Speaker, that individuals or group of individuals, even those who are their superiors, to be held accountable. Until this is pushed beyond the officers that carry those arms, somebody must be responsible, and that's the superiors. When anybody takes up arm or in uniform in any capacity, kills anybody, the superior or whoever is the officer in command, in charge, should be made accountable. When that is done, Mr. Speaker, you will see that the superiors will, on their own, make sure that the men they send out every day, the men who work under them, they themselves will set up a kind of evaluation of these men, and they will be able to recommend that this man is not in the right state of mind to carry arm or to wear uniform, and this kind of man should be allowed to go. But if we continue to leave it that it is the man who shot somebody or the man who drove into people, to anybody, he has a reason, maybe he was made angry or somebody spoke with him, and that is where it ends. Tomorrow, Mr. Speaker, somebody else will do the same thing. But if the people who are supposed to supervise them, and that's why there's hierarchy. That's why there's hierarchy. There are people who are supposed to supervise these men. When you know that you'll be held accountable for the acts of the men under you, I want to believe that something will be done. And Mr. Speaker, that is why I will suggest, Mr. Speaker, that in our recommendation, it should be that regular profiling of men in uniform should be done. That they should carry out this profiling to look at their state of mind regularly, to show that these men, because if you carry out a man who lives home and fights with his wife, a man who is indebted, a man who has other challenges, family, personal challenges, is not in the right state of mind to wear uniform or to go out carrying arms. And these are the things we need to look at, and these are the things we need to do, I believe. That we should not be talking about or just looking at this situation, which is most unfortunate, but we should now talk about the future, that something has to be done, and done right, properly by this 8th Assembly. So that when we look back, we'll be able to say that we contributed our quota, that these unfortunate situations must not be allowed to continue, and somebody must be held accountable. And that is the superior officers who these men are put under them, who supervise these men and allow these men to go out every day. I so provide, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
So I'll put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. As part of the prayer, the resolutions of the motion, let's call for a 1 minute silence, in honor of the 11 youngsters who lost their life in that tragic and unfortunate incident. May we therefore please rise to observe a minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives. At this moment, our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the slain, and as part of the prayers in the motion, on behalf of the House, I extend our deepest sympathies to the government and people of Gombe State. May the gentle souls of the 11 youngsters who were slain rest in perfect peace. Next point of order from Honorable Ishaka Ayokule Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, our dearest quintessential speaker with substantial values, Honorable Ishaka Ayokule Ibrahim. I represent the very good people before Iwikoro Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker, and distinguished honorable colleagues. I rise, Mr. Speaker, under Order 8, Rule 4 and 7, matter of urgent public importance, and to suspend all our relevant rules to enable me a motion on the need to address safety hazards and dangers of open manholes within Abuja metropolis cities and towns of the FCT. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Seconder to the first prayer that the matter is urgent. Seconder, Honorable Sheriff Nur.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Mohammed Nur Sharif, member representing Bama, Galakala, Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Ishaka. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Second motion that we suspend our rules. Honorable Nambobi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Dear colleagues, I'm Uchichukwu Namubi, and I represent the good people of Ahadu West and Oba Ebemendoni Federal Constituency from Rivers State. I rise, Mr. Speaker, to second the second limb of the motion, that our rules be suspended and the matter be taken immediately. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Isaka, please move your motion.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I rise to discuss the motion on the need to address safety hazards and dangers of open manholes within the Abuja metropolis cities and FCT. The House notes with deep concern about open manholes, which is causing incessant slips, trips, and falls of people from the surface due to desperation of thieves who have resorted to stealing manhole covers to sell as scraps. Aware that manhole closings are expected to be protected by a grating or manhole cover, a flat plug designed to prevent accidental or unauthorized access to the manhole, traditionally made of metal, recast, concrete, glass reinforced plastic, or other composite materials in streets, for sidewalks across the Federal Capital Territory and major streets and households. Concern that safety as our #1 concern has been unduly eroded by uncovered manholes and drains of virtual death traps in the streets of Abuja, and they pose greater peril when submerged under flood waters. Children are not only the most at risk, but vulnerable, because sometimes before help will come, it may be too late and the kid is swept away under tunnels. The authorities are aware of the potential risk of these death traps across Abuja, but have been unable to fix the problem, leading to rampant tragedies. Perhaps because no ally of the government has ever fallen victim to these manholes, which are death traps waiting for innocent people to devour. If not, they would have been covered with the speed of light. Worried that there are recordable and non-recordable incidents associated with uncovered manholes, hazard with many victims and families going back with horrific tales. On October 27, 2017, at Shehu Shagari Way, Maitama District, Abuja, Mr. Femi Falano's son equally fell a victim into an uncovered manhole which had no inscription around it to caution road users, especially pedestrians, to avoid same. There have been numerous car users and people going about their normal businesses and who have been victims of these uncovered manholes with broken legs, limbs, and sometimes spinal cord injuries. The House resolves mandate the Federal Capital Territory, the Federal Capital Development Authority, to conduct immediately condition assessments of all manholes within the Federal Capital Territory. 2. Mandate the Federal Capital Development Authority to provide as urgent intervention barricades, caution tapes, and other means of safety nets in and around all the exposed manholes within the Federal Capital Territory until remedial actions are taken. Mandate the Federal Capital 3. Mandate the Federal Capital Development Authority to desilt all underground blocked drains and reinstate stolen manholes covers within the Federal Capital Territory and Abuja. Number 4, mandate House committees on Federal Capital Territory, the Federal Capital Development Authority, and legislative compliance to monitor and report to the House within 6 weeks of this motion. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Kayode.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kayode Oladile. I represent Yewas North and Imekwa for Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I'm from Ogun State, and I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Honorable Ayakule. I so second.
Honorable Isaka, please debate the motion.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. Quite sure, even right inside this chamber, if we allow some of our members to make comments about this motion so raised on the floor, not even talking to the public, everyone has one or two experience which we call safety moment to share with us. Aside pedestrians and human traffic who are fallen victims of this unfortunate circumstance of uncovered manholes across the metropolis, I make bold to say, Mr. Speaker, that a lot of people have even lost tires of their vehicles running to these manholes because of the edges. The edges of these manholes are so sharp that even if you run to them with your vehicle, you are bound to lose your tires and cause accidents. So it's not only human beings that are directly involved. And Mr. Speaker, it's so unfortunate that many elite and our controllers of works within Abuja, they have all been seeing this unfortunate hazardous condition everywhere within the town, and nobody is doing anything. That's why I'm so surprised. The mover of this motion, unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago as well, near the mosque at Apo, fell directly inside one of the manholes there. But to God be the glory. But how many people would be so fortunate not to have come out with broken limbs, legs, and spinal cord injury? And this is limitless. I want to just appeal. It's an open, direct confrontation, hazard everywhere, not limited to where the elites live. The Federal Capital Development Authority, the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja should please see and do something about this. In safety, we talk about preemptive measure, we talk about mitigation, and we talk about control. The stage at which we are presently, control should come first. They should first of all barricade, make safety nets, caution tapes to let people be aware and conscious of the hazards of these open manholes, while remedial actions should be taken immediately at addressing them before we lose so many people in the public due to this unfortunate. And perhaps we are yet to even hear from the radio or media anyone being paraded having stolen all these metals. Because of their weight, people are tempted to remove them and go and sell as scrap, which is very unfortunate. So if there should be an alternative means of engineering, redesigning, to make all these manholes somehow permanent, and if they want to carry out a kind of repair work, they can reopen them, maybe tack welding the cover to the base, such that no one can just rush there, leave solutions to this. And I want to appeal on this floor that honorable members will support this motion with all sincerity. Somebody was a victim yesterday, somebody is a victim today, and as I speak, there are some victims that will still, this issue will still be meted onto before the close of the day. It could be you tomorrow, so let us not wait until this unfortunate incident affects yourself, myself, or our children, and our family. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and I so submit. Thank you very much, sir.
Any contributor? Any contributor to the debate? Otherwise, I'll put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. We'll move on. The first business of the day, which is presentation of report of Committee on Environment and Habitat, the bill for an act to repeal the Environmental Impact Assessment Act, Chapter E12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Environmental Impact Assessment Bill to set out general principles, procedures, and methods to enable prior consideration of environmental impact assessment on certain public or private projects and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Obinna Chidoka. Honorable members will recall the bill was referred to the committee on Thursday, 17 January 2019. Report is ready for presentation. Honorable Chidoka is now invited to present the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obinna Chidoka, representing Idemili North, Idemili South, Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning for the presentation of report that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Environment and Habitat on a bill for an act to repeal the Environmental Impact Assessment Act, Cap E12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Environmental Impact Assessment Bill to set out general principles, procedures, and methods to enable prior consideration of environmental impact assessment on certain public or private projects and for related matters. House Bill 1550. Right Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? Seconder. Honorable TJ.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm Yusuf Ahmed Tijani, member representing Okene, Ogomagogo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by the Chairman, House Committee on Environment. I still second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Chidoka, please proceed and lay the report. Second business of the day is presentation report of the Conference Committee on the reviewed conditions of service in the National Assembly. Sorry, I take that again. Second business of the day is presentation report of the Conference Committee on the reviewed conditions of service in the National Assembly service, standing in the name of Honorable Simon Arabo. Honorable Arabo is now invited to present the report, but in his absence, Honorable Abonte will take the report because he is a member of the Conference Committee.
Order! My name is Uzoma Nkim Abonta. Mr. Speaker, may I move that the report of the Conference Committee on the revived condition of service in the National Assembly services be laid. I so move.
Seconder. Any seconder? Honorable Dambara.
Looks like Mr. Speaker wouldn't recognize me today.
You are now looking like the true gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that. My name is Honorable Dambaram Abakanu.
Wrong English.
Representing Kano.
Order!
The only gentleman from the municipality in the whole of the Great Chambers. And I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion for us to receive the report of the Conference Committee as moved by Honorable Bonta. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Bonta, please proceed and lay the report. The third business of the day is presentation of 3 reports standing in the name of Honorable Kayode Oladele. Honorable Oladele is now invited to present the reports. I will take them at once.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Kayode Oladele. I represent Yewa North and Imeka for Federal Constituency. I am from Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to present the report that the House will receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to make comprehensive provision for the confiscation, forfeiture, and management of properties derived from unlawful activities and for related matters. That's number 1. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I also rise that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Financial Crimes on a bill for an act to repeal the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2011 and enact the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act Bill and for related matters, HB 391 and 410, filed on 13th July 2017. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise that the House will receive the report of the Committee on Financial Crimes on a bill for an act to amend the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Act, CAP, E1 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for quick recovery procedures for stolen assets, implement active pursuit of cases, build capacity, and improve trust and cooperation with foreign counterparts, ensure adequate funding of the Commission, more independent and effective in the enforcement of economic and financial crimes, and to enhance the effectiveness of the bill and for other related matters. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Ishaka.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Ibrahim Ayokole Isiaka, represent the very good people of Ifo Iwekuru Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the bill's motion, ably moved by Honorable Kayode Oladele. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Fourth business of the day is presentation of 5 reports of the Committee on Basic Education Services, standing in the name of Honorable Zakari Mohammed. Honorable Zachary is now invited to present the reports. Is there anyone who is taking the reports on his behalf?
Honorable Zakaria Galadima, Honorable Aminu Gora, please.
My brother, in whom I am well pleased.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, in view of the absence of Honorable Zachary, may I move that we step down report numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
All the orders listed by the chairman, rules and business, are hereby stepped down by leave of the House.
Honorable Salami, please go back to your seat, please. This is not your seat.
First order of the day, honorable colleagues, the third reading of Bill for an Act to establish the Nigerian Independent Warehouse Regulatory Agency, and for related matters, honorable members will recall the House adopted report of Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 25th April 2019.
Order.
I therefore call on the leader to move that the bill be now read the third time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I rise to move for a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Independent Warehouse Regulatory Agency, and for related matters, HB 116, be read a third time. I so move.
Chairman, Rules and Business.
Mr. Speaker, may I second the motion for the third reading of the bill? I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. I have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Order. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Independent Warehouse Regulatory Agency and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Second order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to provide for suppression of piracy and other maritime offenses, give effect to provisions of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, 1982, Convention for the Suppression of Unlawful Acts Against the Safety of Maritime Navigation, SUA, 1988, and its protocols, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 25th April 2019. I therefore call on the leader to move that the bill be now read the third time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, I rise to move for a bill for an act to provide for suppression of piracy and other maritime offenses, give effect to provisions of the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea, 1982, the Convention for the Suppression of Unlawful Acts Against the Safety of Maritime Navigation, 1988, and its protocols, and for related matters, HB 1571, read a third time.
Rules of Business.
Mr. Speaker, may I second the third reading of the bill as moved by the leader of the House? I so second.
Those in favor, the question is that the bill be now read the third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable members, a bill for an act to provide for suppression of piracy and other maritime offenses, give effect to the provisions of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, 1982, the Convention for suppression of unlawful acts against the safety of maritime navigation, 1988, and its protocols, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Third order of the day, honorable colleagues, the third reading of Bill for an act to establish the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria to conduct qualifying examination, regulate the counseling profession, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 25th April 2019. I therefore call on the leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time. Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move for a bill for an act to establish the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria to conduct qualifying examinations, regulate the counseling profession, and for related matters, HB 1603. Read a third time.
Rules and Business, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, may I second the motion for the third reading of the bill to establish the Practitioners Council of Nigeria? I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor, honorable colleagues, the question is the bill be now read the third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria to conduct qualifying examinations, regulate the counseling profession, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Fourth order of the day, honorable colleagues, is the third reading of Bill for an Act to establish Federal Polytechnic Kwale, Delta State, to provide full-time courses in technology, applied science, management, other fields of study, and make provisions for general administration of the Polytechnic and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 25th April 2019. Therefore, call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time. Third reading.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that the bill for an act to establish Federal Polytechnic Kwale, Delta State, to provide full-time courses in technology, applied sciences, management, and other fields of study, and to make provisions for general administration of the Polytechnic and for related matters, HB 1497, be read a third time.
Rules and business.
Mr. Speaker, may I second the third reading of the bill to establish the Federal Polytechnic Kwale. I so second.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that the bill be now read a third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. I submit.
Order.
The clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for an act to establish the Federal Polytechnic Kwale, Delta State, to provide full-time courses in technology, applied science, management, and other fields of study, and to make provisions for general administration of the Polytechnic and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Fifth order of the day, honorable colleagues, the third reading of Bill for an Act to provide for establishment of the Defense Research and Development Bureau, DRDB, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on Thursday, 25th April 2019. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move for a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Defense Research and Development Bureau.
Order.
And for related matters, HB 1606, read a third time.
Rules and business, Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the third reading of the bill as moved by the Leader of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that the bill be now read the third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. I submit. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for now to provide for establishment of the Defense Research and Development Bureau and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed.
Honorable Salami, please.
Why one does member
Sorry, honorable colleagues, we'll continue. The sixth order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the University of Lagos Act Chapter U9, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to specify the minimum qualification for the chairman of the governing council, ownership of intellectual property, and to provide for pre-action notice to the university authority and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of Committee of the Whole on the bill Thursday, 25th April 2019. Therefore, call on the leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move for a bill for an act to amend the University of Lagos Cap U9 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to specify the minimum qualifications of the chairman of the governing council, ownership of intellectual property, and to provide for pre-action notice to the university authority and for related matters 8B 1106. Be read the third time.
Rules and business.
Mr. Speaker, may I rise to second the motion for the third reading of the bill seeking to amend the University of Lagos Act. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in, honorable colleagues, the question is the bill be now read the third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for now to amend the University of Lagos Act, CAP, U9 Laws for the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to specify the minimum qualification for the chairman of the governing council, ownership of intellectual property, and to provide for pre-action notice to the university authority and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Seventh order of the day, honorable colleagues, the third reading of bill for an act to repeal the Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act 2007 and enact a bill for an act to establish the Nigeria Road Safety Commission with responsibility for traffic management, prevention and minimization of road traffic crashes, supervision of users of such roads, regulation of traffic thereon, clearing of obstruction on any part of the road, education of drivers, members of the general public on the proper use of the roads and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Thursday, 25th April 2019. Therefore, call on the leader of the House to move that the bill be now read the third time. Third reading.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move for a bill for an act to repeal the Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act 2007 and enact a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Road Safety Commission with responsibility for traffic management, prevention and minimization of road traffic crashes, supervision of users of such roads, regulation of traffic thereon, clearing of obstructions on any part of the roads, education of drivers, motorists, and other members of the general public on the proper use of the roads, and for related matters 8Ps 932, 937, 796, and 1328. Be read the third time. I so move.
Chairman, rules and business.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the third reading of the bill seeking to repeal and reenact the Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, question is that the bill will be now read the third time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for now to repeal the Federal Road Safety Commission Establishment Act 2007 and enact a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Road Safety Commission with responsibility for traffic management, prevention and the minimization of road traffic crashes, supervision of users of such roads, regulation of traffic thereon, clearing of obstructions on any part of the roads, education of drivers, motorists and other members of the general public on the proper use of the roads and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Eighth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of bill for an act to amend provisions of the River Basins Development Authority Act, Chapter R9, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, for equitable distribution of river basin development authorities in Nigeria and for related matters, standing the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall the bill was transmitted from the Senate, seeking concurrence of the House, and read the first time on Tuesday, 5th June 2018. I now invite the leader to move that the bill be now read the second time.
Mr. Speaker, I want to crave your indulgence that this bill and the one following, I am just seeing on the other paper, and I will confess that I'm not fully prepared to take those bills. But because of the time at our disposal, which is very little, Mr. Speaker, I've looked at the two bills, and I believe the titles of the bill are self-explanatory and they capture the essence of the bill. And if it is the will of the House, we can go on based on the title and the self-explanatory title of the two bills, rather than stepping down and moving it forward to another day. The luxury of time which we do not have. So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, I just put that at the forefront because I will not be debating the details of the bill. So I rise to move a bill for an act to amend the provisions of the River Basins Development Authorities Act, Cap R9, LFN 2004, for equitable distribution of river basin development authorities in Nigeria, and for related matters, HB 1485. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Seconder, rules and business.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second reading of the bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Council, the River Basins Development Authorities Act. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Leader, could you please lead the debate?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you rightly observed, this is a bill that has come up for concurrence. It has been debated thoroughly at the Senate. It is self-explanatory. It is basically to amend the provisions of the River Basins Development Authorities Act. And what is exactly is the amendment? The amendment, as the title of the bill says, is to provide for equitable distribution of river basin authorities in Nigeria. It suggests that prior to this amendment, there was no equitable distribution of river basin authorities. And of course, if this is what the bill is about, I will urge the House that we concur to the bill as passed by the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable M.T. Monguno.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marche Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am privileged to have gone through the compendium that is being circulated by the Committee on Rules and Business with regard to the second reading of this bill, and to give more flesh to the argument propounded by the leader of the House. In essence, what this bill seeks to do by equitable distribution of River Basin Development Authority is to create another River Basin Development Authority, by name the Upper Niger River Basin Development Authority, with a jurisdiction to cover Niger State, Kaduna State, and the Federal Capital Territory. That is what essentially that this bill seeks to achieve by creating an additional River Basin Development Authority that will have the jurisdiction over Niger, Kaduna, and the Federal Capital Territory, so that there will be equitable distribution of the River Basin Development Authorities across the nooks and crannies of the country, and to exploit the waters that are available in this state for the purpose of irrigation and agricultural activity to boost production and create employment in these 3 catchment areas as it was reflected in the schedule to the compendium of the draft bill, by way of adding more flesh to the argument given by the leader of the House. Thank you.
Honorable Sajos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my highly esteemed colleagues. I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, as much as I want to say I'm in support of this, I'm struggling to say I'm in support, but because of the understanding with the Senate to concur with whatever they have gone through, I just want to raise this objection just for purely academic. The question will be the river basin authorities that we have in this country, what are they doing? I think they have outlived their usefulness, and if you ask me, they should be scrapped. Today we are talking about equal distribution or redistribution or even having more. The ones we have today are not even funded. So why are we talking about having more? So for me, like I said, I think this is academic, but I just want to raise this question. I do not think the river basin authorities we have in this country today are doing anything, and I'm wondering why we are talking about creating more. And yet we say we are running a big government, we don't have money to fund. And we are talking about establishing more agencies that we cannot fund. Thank you.
Honorable Abunta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Uzoma Nkim Abunta. Mr. Speaker, I want to support this bill, having seen the title of the bill. It's saying for equitable distribution of river basin development authorities, equitable distribution. Even though I have not seen the details of the bill, but the topic suggests to me that the injustice being done by the previous act wants to be corrected by this bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that I'm speaking the minds of members, particularly from the Southeast, by virtue of the act being sought to be amended. The Southeast have got only one development authority. Therefore, if the intendment and purpose of this bill is to address the injustice where some sections will have up to 2 or 3, I think we should, without delay, pass this bill and reschedule it for consideration, and if possible, a third reading, that every geopolitical zone will have equal number of development, river basin development authority. If funding is the issue, we will get there, we will cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, let every zone feel like they are part of the federation. Therefore, I will support this bill wholeheartedly and urge that the constitution and other things required to be done on this bill should be fast-tracked. I so speak, Mr. Speaker.
So I'll put the question, honorable colleagues. The question is that the bill be now read the second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for an act to amend the provisions of the River Basin Development Authorities Act, Cap R9, Law for the Federation of Nigeria 2004, for equitable distribution of River Basin Development Authorities in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. Ninth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of Bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Council for Psychologists and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the bill was transmitted from the Senate seeking concurrence, read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd April 2019. I now invite the leader to move the bill be now read the second time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Like I said, same as Bill number 8. This is self-explanatory, coming from the Senate. It is a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Council for Psychologists. I believe this is very essential and very needed at this time in Nigeria, and I will urge members to support the bill. Thank you.
Oh, Deputy Leader.
Pardon? Mr. Speaker, because I had referred to this particular bill in the last one, I assumed that I had already moved the bill. Mr. Speaker, I urge that you just let us carry on the assumption that the bill has been moved and it has been debated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I like to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House.
Leader, please lead the debate.
It has been debated in the Senate. It is self-explanatory, it speaks for itself, and I will urge members to support it. It talks about the need to have psychologists and to have that profession regulated in Nigeria.
Any contributor? I think it's self-explanatory, so we'll put the question. The question is that the bill be now read the second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Most honorable members, the bill for now to establish the Nigerian Council for Psychologists and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. 10th order of the day is the commencement of debate on general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Center for Automotive Design and Development Act 1992, the National Automotive Council Act 1993, and provide for establishment of the National Automotive Design and Development Council and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Uzoma Inkem Abonta. Honorable members recall the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 23rd November 2016. I now invite Honorable Abonta to move the bill be now read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Uzoma Nkimabonta is my name. Mr. Speaker, I present Okwa East and West Federal Constituency of Abia State. Mr. Speaker, may I move for a bill for an act to repeal the Center for Automotive Design and Development Act 1992, the National Automotive Council Act 1993, and provide for the establishment of the National Automotive Design and Development Council and for related matters. The read second time, I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Kayode.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kayode Oladile. I represent Yewa North and Nimekwa Federal Constituency. I am from Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the bill be read the second time. I so second.
Honorable Abonta, please lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to harmonize the automotive design sector. The bill seeks to also bring into bearing conformity with the modern technologies in the automotive sector. We are trying to repeal the bill of 1992 and that of 1993. You will agree with me that from 1992 to now, the world had gone digital. A lot of invention not anticipated had come to be. Rather than having duplications and repeat of bills, we are trying to codify and unite all that concerns automotive design and development into one volume. Mr. Speaker, you'll agree with me that we are talking about engineering and Chief Whip, sir. This is principal officers discussion. Point of order. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Not many distractions from my principals. What I'm saying is that from 1992 till now, we have witnessed a lot of industrial revolution, particularly in the areas of technology, automotive, and all whatnot. For us to still operate the moribund act will look like setting the hand of the clock behind and trying to also not encourage the upcoming automotive industries. Therefore, this bill seeks to fast track and bring to conformity what will take Nigeria to the promised land as far as automotive sector is concerned. I therefore urge my colleagues to have this bill have a passage that we may do the needful so that we'll go on. Mr. Speaker, we know of Nigerians now who are into automotive manufacturing like Innocent and Co and all whatnot. They need to have a focus. I therefore pray that we have this bill passed and considered fast at the speed of light. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any more contributor? Honorable Princess Nomindra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ayo Omidiro, member representing the people of Ayedade, Irewole, Ishokan Federal Constituency from the state of Osun. I'm aware that this is an infrastructural bill, and because of that, we don't usually talk much about it. However, I just want to commend Honorable Agonta, and given the fact that this bill is supposed to be a developmental bill, I want to say that we should pass the bill as early as possible, and subsequently we should all look forward to this council bringing to the fore our ability to manufacture our own designed and beautiful automobiles, I'm sure, so that at the end of the day we will reduce to a large extent the importation of automobiles into this country. I am sure that this is going to also provide a lot of jobs for our people and even bring the people from diaspora back to Nigeria to help us in this venture. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kayode Oladile. I represent Yewa North and Imekwa for Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. I would like to also lend my voice to this very important bill. Mr. Speaker, just like the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Amonte, said, we are entering into a technological age where things are developing on a daily basis, and Nigeria cannot afford to be behind. Mr. Speaker, if you look at this bill, you would notice that it is trying to consolidate two previous acts. Of course, these are acts that are also very obsolete, and both acts deal with the same issue. We have the Center for Automotive Design and Development Act, which was passed in 1992, and a year later, the National Automotive Council was passed in 1993. Mr. Speaker, these two acts deal with the same thing. And of course, if we look at them today, they are also very obsolete. So I think it is very important that we update our research and technology, particularly in the area of automotive engineering. So by bringing this bill to consolidate the two previous bills, repeal them, and of course have a new law that will take care of the current developments in the area of automobile engineering. I think it is very commendable, and I would appeal to colleagues to allow this bill pass to the second reading. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I so second.
Any contributor? And acting whip is not doing his work. Honorable colleagues, the question is that the bill be now read a second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for allowed to repeal the Center for Automotive Design and Development Act 1992, the National Automotive Council Act 1993, and provide for the establishment of the National Automotive Design and Development Council and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. The 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of Bill for an Act to establish the Nigeria Building and Road Research Institute, NBRRI, to build capacity, conduct integrated applied research and development in roads, building and engineering material sectors. For related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Benilar, Honorable members who recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 28 February 2018, and I invite Honorable Lar to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Benny Lar, represent Lantern North and South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, may I move that a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute to build capacity, conduct integrated applied research and development in roads, building and engineering materials sectors and for related matters be moved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kiruka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiruka Onyedoja. I represent the people of this Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Benny La. I so second.
Honorable Benny, please move for the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill is a bill which seeks to create a legal framework for the operations of the Nigerian Building, Road and Research Institute. The Nigerian Building, Roads and Research Institute, NIBRI, was established in 1977 under a military decree. And ever since its establishment, they have been operating as an agency that has brought in a lot of new innovations in building. They conduct applied research that is competitive and acceptable all over the world. They have set some international standards in their building operations and roads operations. However, the operational framework is still governed by a decree, and that is why this bill is coming up today. It's a very straightforward bill. I don't think it's one that needs much argument. We all know the work of NIBRI. Many members in their constituencies are actually beneficiaries of the work of the Nigerian Building Road Research Institute. So I plead that without much ado, we please pass this bill for the second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any contributor? Honorable Kayode.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, my name is Kayode Oladile. I represent Yewa North and the Mekwa for Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, again, I'm from Ogun State. I rise to lend my voice to the passage of this very important bill. Mr. Speaker, it is very strange to note that an institute that has been working so very aggressively to develop our roads and to conduct research on the issue of buildings and other areas that are very important to the nation. Such an institution is yet to be backed by law. So I think it's something that I should commend the sponsor of this bill, Honorable Benila, who incidentally is the chairman of that NIBRI House Committee on it, for bringing this bill to establish and at least give a legal backing to NIBRI. NIBRI is doing a very wonderful job. Every one of us, most of the members can attest to the fact that they've been doing very well in the area of infrastructure and development in Nigeria. To that extent, and without much ado, Mr. Speaker, I would like to urge my colleagues to allow this bill to pass through second reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Lambram Abakar Nu, representing Kano Municipal, the only gentleman from the municipality, and I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm still battling to understand why this bill is presented to the House for consideration. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my understanding is that if this institution or this agency has been in existence and has been backed by a decree, my understanding is that whatever is backed by decree, automatically, now it has become or can be adopted as part of the law backing the establishment. So I do not understand, Mr. Speaker, I do not understand why this bill is coming. So I need to be, I think, guided more. Otherwise, there isn't any need for us to consider this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've seen the usefulness of the intent and purpose of the bill, but we have loved the proponent of the bill, Honorable Benila, who sought to establish the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute. Is she trying to repeal the existing bill or amend it or legitimize it? From her late debate, she made us to realize that the military decree had covered the act. If the military decree had provided the act, does this act exist in our statute book? If the answer is yes, then what we need to do is to repeal the existing act and introduce this or amend that, or taking this, while that is not in the statute book, will give an impression that we're trying to run a true parallel act. Still, am I protected, Mr. Speaker? From the bench of Mr. Speaker, seek your protection. If what my argument is, as I have argued, then I think we need to step down and seek to repeal. I do not know. I will want a further answer to my questions from the mover of the bill, so I will be sure and be properly guided. If it exists, but just wants to delete the degree nature of it, the military nature of it, then we need to repeal it or amend it that the democratic settings may apply. But if it does not exist, then we'll go ahead and do the needful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any more contribution? So I put the question. Okay. Rules and business.
So I think there's a question that colleagues have been asking, and I think we need to get a clear answer from the chairman of the committee. Colleagues are asking that in view of the fact that she has mentioned in her debate that there's a decree that established this institute, and Honorable Lebura mentioned the fact that by the Constitution, all decrees have been transmitted into acts of the National Assembly. So, can we now establish what has already been established by law? That is what we need to get an answer. And Honorable Abota also asked that we may need to step this down so that we look at that, so that we see whether we need to go and establish or do we amend the decree. That's the question, Mr. Speaker.
Well, the sponsor of the bill is herself a lawyer, so I gave her the benefit of the doubt that she must have done everything. So, Honorable Lam, let's hear you out.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, this is an establishment bill. There has been no establishment bill for Plenary. And this is the first time that there's an establishment bill being proposed. So, Mr. Speaker, I ask that the House kindly pass this bill as a matter of urgency. Thank you.
So, where is the information that the bill is one of the decrees?
She mentioned it, sir.
Oh, she mentioned it?
Yes.
We need to clear this, please, Honorable Benny.
Mr. Speaker, it was established in 1977 under a military decree. And that's why, because we don't have military rule anymore, we're now in democratic rule, we feel it necessary that we bring an establishment bill.
Those decrees were carried over into the Constitution. There's a savings provision in the Constitution.
So I think, sir, it will only be proper for us to make haste slowly. Let's give maybe another legislative day to research into this. If it was established by decree, then so we have to step down for the constitution, sir.
Consideration step down by leave of the House. Chairman Rules and Business will cross-check, and if there's need for us to progress, he will list it. He will relist it. 11th order of the day, we're now on 12th order of the day, which is a motion on discharge of committees from referrals on bills pursuant to Order 17, Rule 3(1)G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, standing in the name of Honorable Edward G. Pajok. Honorable Pajok is invited to move the motion.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House notes that the aforementioned bills were read the second time in 2018 and referred to the committee for further legislative actions. The bills are the Federal Character Commission Act Amendment Bill HB 639, 2016, date 31st of January 2018, Committee Federal Character, and 2, National Automotive Council Act Amendment Bill 1201-2017 on the 1st of February 2018. Committee Industry. Aware that the committees are here to present reports on the bills contrary to the provisions of Order 17 Rules 3(1)G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, to wit, any matter referred to any committee shall be created within 30 days, otherwise the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days, and the matter committed to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. Resolves to discharge the committees of the above named bills and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to make an observation.
Are you seconding the motion?
Before seconding, I just think it's important for clarification what is being moved by the Chairman, Business and Rules. He is asking to discharge on item number 2, the National Automotive Council Act Amendment Bill. But I noticed that Honorable Abonta just moved a bill under item 10, Amendment of the Automotive Council Act 1993. So I'm just seeking for clarification. Is that what we're discharging, or are these two different bills? Because item number 10 on the other paper, and item number 12.2 appear to be in conflict. So that's the clarification I'm asking for before we second and then proceed.
Mr. Speaker,
Chairman Rules.
Mr. Speaker, there are different aspects of the bill. That of Honorable Abonta is at second committee stage. We did a first reading on it, and it is to repeal the Automotive Design and Development Act and then establish another aspect of that law. While this other one that we are seeking to discharge was committed to the Committee on Industry since 2018 in February. Mr. Speaker, we seek to consolidate, if this is discharged, we will consolidate both bills so that we will hasten the consolidation. That is the purpose.
But can you consolidate without discharging? Honorable Abonta, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Usoman Kimabonta. The issue being raised is germane, but the purport of the bill I took now and this president is doing is all encompassing. This is National Automotive Council Act amendments. The one that we also had now and passed and committed to the Committee of the Whole is also trying to repeal this and that and merge them. So the proper thing to do is to also retrieve this bill from committees, send it to the Committee of the Whole, where everything will be consolidated and done in one. We are just saying the same thing. We are all trying to enter Abuja from different angles. That is what it is. This is National Automotive Council Amendment. If this motion sails through, it will be retrieved and sent to the Committee of the Whole House. You had already sent the earlier one to the Committee of the Whole House, which seeks to repeal its entirety and bring back. And this amendment seeks to also bring it in conformity with what the earlier bill had tried to do, but without the other arm of it, 1992 and 1993. But that's going to bring it all out now in 2019. And if this is also amended successfully, if the committee had worked, will also be amendment of 2019. But having failed in kind of amendment till now, there's nothing wrong. The Committee of the Whole taking all, I think it's still in order.
The leader.
Mr. Speaker, I've just taken a closer look at the bill as moved by Honorable Abonta. It's actually repealing the National Automotive Council Act. It's repealing it, and we've debated it, and we passed it. So for all intents and purposes, we have repealed that act at this stage. So to now discharge the 12.2 national, discharge something that is in the process of being repealed does not really make sense. What he has done, he has repealed that act and established a new National Automotive Design and Development Council Act to replace the National Automotive Council Act. So really, this has no place any longer. The best I think you can do is, if you want to consolidate, and I don't know how you can consolidate two different bills. One is for repeal, one is for amendment. One is for repeal, one is for amendment. You can't have both. We can't have both. We can only have one. And the repeal supersedes, you can't amend something that has been repealed. So I'm thinking events have overtaken 12-2, although it has not been completely passed. So I don't know how we want to go about this. But it's something I believe the business and rules should have looked at very, very critically before bringing this on the other paper.
The chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, remain honorable Sylvester Waga, Melbourne State. Mr. Speaker, by the passage of the Abonta's version of the bill, which called for the repeal, and we've debated and passed it, we have no need debating this second bill because it has been overtaken. We cannot go back to it. It is not in a place anymore by our passage of the Abonta own. Because what is sought from there is to repeal it. And after our debate, we have passed it. We're only discussing what the new bill on the automatic designs and development should be about, and not the council alone. Because they were two different bills that Mr. Abonta prayed for the repeal. Yes, so it should be either step down or dropped from this debate. Thank you.
Well, I don't know, this bill is a very important bill, and it's something that we just have to do it before we draw the curtains on this assembly. Now, by virtue of the principles of law, when you have, for instance, two competing equities, the first in time prevails. So you can't pass something of today that nullifies something that you have passed before. So in any case, the motion for rescission is to retrieve the bill from the committee. It's not that we are passing it or debating or doing anything about the bill, and then we'll see what happens thereafter. Whichever one is the best, then we can decide to process thereafter. I think that is the best way to proceed.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for your lucid and erudite exposition of the issue. I will just explain to the leader that when the matter comes up for consideration, we may say retain, or delete as applicable. So it's harmless.
Yes. So the acting whip second the motion by Chairman Rules of Business.
My name is Honorable Gwanibu Kadlawan, member representing Burusari, Dedemi Nusari. I'm from Yobe State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Edwin Hajo. I saw second.
So those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. 13th order of the day is a motion on need to investigate the incident of a missing Nigerian Youth Corps member standing in the name of Honorable Sajos Oseogun. Honorable Ogun is now invited to move the motion. Honorable MT Monguno, please, and Honorable Binta. I need to see the two of you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues. I'm Sergius Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Need to investigate the incident of a missing youth corps member. The House notes with grave concern the rising incidents of unexplained disappearance of citizens while going about their lawful duties in the country. The House also notes that the primary purpose of government is to ensure the security of lives and welfare of citizens as enshrined in Section 14(2) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The House is informed of the unexplained disappearance of Mr. Value Iromosele Akigbe, who until his disappearance on 11th of December 2018, was a serving Youth Corps member in Plateau State. The House is aware that the report of his disappearance was formally made to the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps in January 2019, and up till now, his whereabouts is still unknown. The House resolves to mandate the Committee on Youth Development to investigate the circumstances leading to the disappearance of Mr. Value Iromosele Akigbe and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Okene.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, I want to second this very important motion that my colleague moved over the disappearance of a UCOM member. I so second. Thank you.
Honorable Sajos, have you led the debate?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Once again, I'm Sejus Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Value Romosele Akigbe was a copper that served in Plateau State. I think a day or two to his passing out, it was observed that his door was opened, no broken into was opened, and nothing taken from the room. And since then till today, he's not been found. The family has lodged a complaint with the police, with NYC. I have personally written to the NYC. I had called the Director General severally. 2 weeks ago, I was physically in the headquarters in Abuja here. He was not in the office. And I met with the Director Corps Welfare, who magnanimously created time to see me, despite the fact that he was rushing to the villa for a meeting, as he claimed. And what he told me was that they are investigating, and the police have said that you cannot declare anybody missing till after 7 years. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Value Romosele is the child of a widow. He was trained by a widow, his mother. And I am somebody that was trained by a widow. I know the feeling of not just the entire members of the family, but the mother right now, who even called me this morning unknown to her that this motion was listed. So, Mr. Speaker, I have called the DG severally. He doesn't take his calls. But I heard this morning that he's been transferred. He was transferred 2 weeks ago. But long before then, I'll be trying to reach him if I had to go to his office. So this is important, and I will urge everyone to support this motion, because you can just imagine if anybody is missing a child here that went to serve in any part of this country, I wonder if we will not turn this country upside down. So that the child of a widow is missing, I don't expect less from any of us here. So I want us all to stand up and urge the security agencies, urge the NYC, to do something. We must know the whereabouts of that young man. So at times I ask myself, I don't even know whether it's necessary, this youth service scheme is necessary anymore. Yeah, because for a young man from Edo State, from Ishan, to go and serve in Plateau, and suddenly has disappeared into the thin air, and you cannot ask anybody, and nobody is saying anything about it. Mr. Speaker, the mother is traumatized right now, and she wants a solution. So I will urge this House to support this motion, and let's get a solution. We need to know the whereabouts of this young man. Thank you.
This will want to destabilize us. We have already agreed.
Nation.
Honorable Ikiruka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiruka Oye George. I represent the people of the Suwatu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to lend my support for this particular motion. For for me, it's very sad that somebody will finish school and will be posted to observe a compulsory assignment only for the person to get missing. Yes, people can get missing. People are kidnapped on a daily basis. Apparently, it's not just because he's a youth copper. But the worrying aspect of it is because this particular person has gone on a national assignment. I don't think we should expect what we are seeing from the head of this particular agency, the DG of NYC, who have refused to pick calls even when somebody that is supposed to be under his custody is missing. And so, what has this led us to? We need to look at the system that we operate in. Apart from the security of lives and properties, there are certain people that we must guarantee their protection, their safety, especially the coppers. I know what it takes for parents to get their children through tertiary institutions. We were here sometime last year. A former Minister of Finance had to leave her job because they said she didn't participate in youth service. And so every young person wants to go and serve. Because if you don't serve, you don't have job. And then in trying to go and serve, it's either you are killed by hoodlums, you are kidnapped, even they have turned our children to election workers, where there's violence and then they will kill these children and that's it. We'll tell, either we come here and do 1 minute silence or we just go to the family to condole them. So these things must stop. We must find a way of, either we forget about youth service, find a way for people to give back to the country after service, or do something that is very cogent and reliable to ensure that people, when they leave school, even if they are going to serve, that their life should be protected. It's very sad and painful that somebody will wake up in the morning and say, oh, they're looking for your child. And the authorities that are supposed to give you protection, they are not taking your cause. So if the honorable colleagues and people are calling somebody who is supposed to give account of this person, they are not answering, where do we go from here? We'll call police, we'll call army or what? So I believe that in speaking to this motion, the committee should, as a matter of urgent public importance, to give it all seriousness, to get to the root of the matter. And that's why I said here sometime, I've been in 7th Assembly, I sponsored this bill about witness protection. Because the problem we have today is that people are aware of what is happening. People are aware of the people who are kidnapping. People are aware of where they keep these people. But they cannot come up to say, because when they say that, their life and their family is endangered. So it's high time we do something. I plead that the honorable colleague should give this motion all the support it deserves. And I believe that 4 weeks is just too much because the 8th Assembly is winding up. I believe that we should give them 2 weeks because this thing has happened since and people have been calling. So it's a matter of calling these people to question, to raise questions that they must provide answer. So I believe that 2 weeks will be enough for this kind of investigations. All the security agencies that are involved should be invited by this particular committee. So by 2 weeks we should get the report and find out whether this particular person is still alive or whether it's under any custody of some sort. And also to warn that people who are given position of responsibility should be responsible to their responsibility. this issue of somebody sits down and they call you for questioning on matters of importance and then you don't pick calls. That is terrible. And I believe that if that person is still in service, they should have some sanctions. Because I'm not saying that you are aware of who kidnapped them, but at least you should provide answers to questions that are being raised. I so submit.
Any more contribution? Otherwise, I'll put the question. There's a proposed amendment here from Honorable Nam Obi. Honorable Nam, can you now move your amendment, please?
Yes, to it. Right, Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I'm Uju Chukwu Namobi and I represent the good people of Ahodo West and Oba Ebemendoni Federal Constituency. I'm from River State. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate that we also have to deal with this ugly incident about this inexplicable disappearance of a core member. Mr. Speaker, my amendment is that rather than, call on the Agency on Youth Development, that we call on the IGP and the Committee on National Security and all relevant security agencies that they actually swing into action and ensure that this investigation is carried out and that they report back to the House in 2 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Princess Omidora.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ayo Omiduro, member representing the people of Aida de Irewale Isokon Federal Constituency from the state of Osun. I rise to support the amendment as moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Now we move to consideration of reports. The 14th, we're still waiting for the chairman, the Committee on Appropriations, to bring the harmonized report of the budget with the Senate before we take on the appropriation bill. So we'll move to consideration of reports as we wait for the budget bill, the chairman appropriations to be back with the budget bill. The fourth order of the day, honorable colleagues, the resumption of consideration of bill for an act to establish Federal Capital Territory FCT Directorate of Road Traffic and Motor Vehicle Administration Service to be saddled with the responsibility of road traffic management and motor vehicle administration services within the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that on Wednesday, 25th April, the House, the Committee of the Whole, considered all the clauses of the bill and deferred consideration of the schedules. Honorable Edwards Yang Pajo will move for the resumption of the consideration.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, may I move that this House do consider a bill for an act to establish the Federal Character Territory Directorate of Road Traffic and Motor Vehicle Administration Service to be saddled with the responsibility of road traffic management and motor vehicle administration services within the Federal Capital Territory FCT and for related matters. HB 1279. I so move.
Seconder. Honorable Benila.
Honorable Speaker, may I second that this consideration of reports be moved. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, these are unusual times, so they call for unusual measures. We were going to take dissolve into committee of the whole, but the chairman appropriation has just showed up with the harmonized report. So we will go to the supplementary order paper. We'll take that, and then when we come back to consideration of report, we'll start. There will be some. We need to take them this. We don't have time, so as much as we can, please. So, honorable colleagues, the next order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation a total sum of 8,906,999,373 naira, of which 502,058,892,965 naira only is for statutory transfers. 2,254,014,113,000 naira, 113,092 naira only is for debt services. 4,055,940,383,684 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 2,094,950,709,632 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2019. Honorable members who recall the report was laid on Wednesday, 17th April 2019. Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki will move for its consideration. Princess.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mustafa Baladawaki. I represent Dawaki Kudwara Burial Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for the consideration of the report on appropriation. But before I do that, I would like to give the highlights of the 2019 appropriation bill. The total aggregate expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion for the consideration of 2019 appropriation bill. Mr. Speaker, I do move for. I so move. Thank you.
Seconder, I won't take from Kano, so Honorable Goni.
Gender, you should be gender.
Right Honorable Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, Initiator of Northeast Development Commission. My name is Honorable Goni Bukar Lawan, member representing Burusari, Gaidami Lusari, Mr. Speaker, sir, from Yobe State. I rise to second the consideration of the 2019 appropriation bill as just moved by the chairman of the committee. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman appropriation, what do you want to do? I guess the man is rusty. Leader, could you move that we resolve into Committee of Supply, please?
Honorable Speaker, sir, respected colleagues, I ask more that I have to resolve to the Committee of Supply to consider the report. I so move.
Honorable empty.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I hereby second the motion as ably moved by the Deputy Leader of the House.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. House hereby resolve into Committee of Supply to consider the report. Princess.
Honorable Lasun Yusuf, Honorable Lasun Yusuf, please. I'm not saying the deputy, you are deputy speaker.
Deputy Whip, is that the license for us to start making noise? Because when I see you chatting with
No.
then there's a license to everybody.
The speaker's princess of the speaker, please. With your red cap, go and take your seat.
Honorable colleagues, the report to be considered is that of the Committee on Appropriations. I will now invite the Chairman, Committee on Appropriations, to give us synopsis of the bill. Which one?
The speaker's princess.
Be very careful.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I remain Honorable Mustafa Baladwaki. I represent the Junkudu Bureau Constituency. I'm the Chairman, House Committee on Appropriations. I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Appropriation on the bill for an act to authorize the issue from Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 8,916 billion, 964 million, and 99,373,000 naira only. Only for the statutory, of which 502 billion and 58 million, 892 million, 965 naira only is for the statutory transfers. 2,254 billion and 14 million, 313,092 for only for the debt service. Then 4,055 billion, 940 million, 383,684 naira only for the recurrent non-debt expenditure, where the 2,094 billion, 950 million, 709 million, 632 naira only. Only for the contribution to the development fund for the capital expenditure for the year ending 31st, 2019. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from Consolidated Revenue Fund, which I will give the following highlights. Mr. Chairman, the aggregate expenditure is 8,916 billion, 964 and 99,373. Statutory transfers is 502 billion and 58 million, 892,965. For the fiscal deficit, Mr. Chairman, is 749,742. Mr. Chairman, there's an additional of 10 billion, which is federal government intervention in Zamfara State. Then the fiscal deficit will now be 1,918 billion, 449,742. Then there is which is going to be captured in capital supplementation under service whiteboard. Then for the special intervention is 500 billion. The recurrent expenditure is 4,855,383,684. Then for the capital expenditure is 2,950,709,632. Then the deficit to GDP ratio is 1.37%. Mr. Chairman, there is a slight increase in the budget deficit. This is as a result of the provision of the severance benefit of the outgoing legislators and legislative aids. The induction stock orientation and the inauguration of the new legislators, of which occurred once in 4 years, but were inadvertently not captured in 2019 budget proposal. There was also the need to provide more funds for the security intelligence to deal with additional emerging unforeseen security challenges. And there's also what I've mentioned earlier, the federal government intervention in Zamfara State of 10 billion naira, which is also captured in the capital supplementation of the service whiteboard. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, having thoroughly examined the report and recommendation of the subcommittees and input received from the public of national public hearing, the committee hereby recommend that House do consider and approve the bill for an act to authorize the issue of consolidated revenue fund of the Federation, a total sum of 8,916,916 plus the 10 billion of the federal government intervention in Zamfara State. 916 billion, 964 million, and 99,373 only. Then 502 billion and 58,892,965 for the statutory transfers. 2 trillion 254 billion and 14 million 113,092 naira only for the debt service. Then 4 trillion and 55 billion 940 million 383,684 naira only is for the recurrent non-debt expenditure, well 2 trillion and 94 billion 950 million 709,632 naira only is for the contribution to the development fund for the capital expenditure, in line with the provision of section 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. The bill will run for a period of 12 months, starting from the date it was assented into law. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Appropriation Committee, I wish to thank the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the entire House leadership for the support given to the committee in processing the bill. I also wish to appreciate the cooperation and understanding of the subcommittees throughout the period of working on the bill by the committee. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
We have not started considering the report. Honorable Chris, there's no need for secondment now. Honorable Kayode. He's just giving us a synopsis of the report. So we'll now proceed to take the report. If you have the supplements to the other paper, you open to page number 129. Number 129, which is from this is page 2. It's page 2. We will start taking it from the schedule. I will take part A, which is statutory transfers. So the first is the National Judicial Council, NJC, 110 billion carried. Niger Delta Development Commission, 100 billion, 188,921,129 naira carried. Universal Basic Education, UBE, is 112 billion, 471,421,836 naira carried. National Assembly, 128 billion carried. Public Complaints Commission, 4 billion. On National Complaint? National. On Public Complaints Commission, you want to complain? You can complain to the commission later. Because that's what they established to handle. And that's why we're giving them over 4 billion to handle abundance complaints. Public Complaints Commission, 4,398,550,000 carried. INEC, 45,500,000,000 carried. National Human Rights, National Human Rights Commission, 1.5 billion.
Order, please. Order.
Honorable Kande, if the Honorable Rotimikai address the chair, Honorable Abonta, we have already carried it, and the gavel has gone down. It's unfortunate. So if okay, Honorable Sajos, Honorable Sajos, if you calculate the bill, legal bill alone for senior advocates who are going for litigation, because virtually all elections are litigated now, how much would that amount to? Just legal bills. On the average, you are paying a senior advocate, you are looking at 30 million naira. That is if you are an individual. What more of a government agency?
Speaker, INEC. On INEC.
I've taken it. Yes. I'm taking Human Rights Commission. So total for statutory transfers is 502,892,965 naira carried. Debt services, domestic debts, 1,710,218,672,442 naira carried. Foreign debts, 433,795,440,649 naira carried. Sinking fund. This one is going to sink. Sinking fund to retire maturing loans, 110 billion. Total debt services is 2,3,254,000,014,113,092 naira carried. Part C, recurrent non-debt expenditure for ministries, departments, and agencies. We start with the presidency. 33 billion, 56,842,954 naira carried. Objection after carrying It's a nullity.
You to do what?
Okay, I'll give you room next time. But unfortunately, we'll pass this one. Yes. Even if you want the other room, I have the keys here. You can come and take. Ministry of Defense, 429,670,487 naira carried. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 66,107,076,684 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, 44,601,559,361 naira carried.
It's the most populous in Nigeria now.
Ministry of Interior, 564,222,709,345 naira carried. Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, 5,343,166,040 naira carried. Auditor General for the Federation, 2,961,311,965 naira carried. Ministry of Communication Technology, 12,583,902,706 naira carried. Office of the National Security Advisor, 86,840,262,348 naira carried. Honorable Dambara. Okay.
Thank you. I'm not causing any problem, and I think I'm protected by the chair. You understand, if I have an observation, I can make my own observation. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, I remain Namburam Obakarnu, Kano Municipal. My worry, Mr. Speaker, is we are passing a budget of 86,840,000,000 for the Office of the National Security Advisor alone. And the entire budget of the National Assembly, they are making an observation. The entire budget, the entire budget of the National Assembly is 128 million. This comprises the recurrent plus the capital and co, everything, which is not only for the legislators, it's also for the commission and all the other aids and co. And then, people of the country, the whole country need to know that if it's a single agency, like the National Security Advisor's Office, will be taking 86 million. What is it? You understand? Then there is cause for worry. When people are looking at perhaps maybe we are taking too much in this place. So that's why I'm raising this observation for everybody to know. Thank you.
Okay. I think it's to cure misperception. But in this case, even if they are going to take 150 billion and Nigerians will sleep with both eyes closed, I don't mind, really. Because one of the dear challenges in this country is the issue of security. And we cannot overprice it. So, carried. Infrastructure Concessionary Regulatory Commission, 1,074,704,993 naira carried. Office of the Secretary of Government of the Federation, 63, that's another one. 63,400,282,728 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, 57,677,415,129 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Finance, I think we've carried agriculture. Okay. Federal Ministry of Finance, 10,842,380,324 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, 14,501,926,373 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, 10,205,456,568 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, 35,020,953,172 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Transportation, 19,170,761,142 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Power Works and Housing, 33,530,704,800 naira carried. Ministry of Petroleum Resources, 67,850,632,923 naira carried. Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, 10,285,797 naira carried. Ministry of Budget and National Planning, 9,340,417,673 naira carried. National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, 718,630,588 naira carried. Fiscal Responsibility Commission, 328,332,567 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Water Resources, 8,371,713,581 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Justice, 22,323,618,624 naira carried. Independent Corrupt Practices and Related Offences Commission, 5,380,108,639 naira carried. Niger, Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, 2,199,690,571 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, this is just the ministry. Recurrent. No. Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, 122 billion, what? 668,019,823 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, 1,521,618,086 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Education, 463,395,832,111 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Health, 315,717,344,056 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Environment, 18,774,175,241 naira carried. National Population Commission, 6,013,849,931 naira carried. Federal Executive Bodies, Code of Conduct Bureau, 2,382,327,877 naira carried. Code of Conduct Tribunal, 701,550,713 naira carried. Federal Character Commission, 2,725,327,846 naira carried. Federal Civil Service Commission, 1,073,053,180 naira carried. Police Service Commission, 783,323,173 naira carried. Revenue Mobilization Allocation Fiscal Commission, 2,174,200,141 naira carried. Office of the Heads of Civil Service Civilian Pension, gratuities, 2.3 billion carried. Pension, 28,391,013,524 naira carried. Military pensions, 121,616,703,006 naira only carried. Expected retirees, 17,606,403,838 naira carried. Death benefits, 22,310,805,147 naira carried. Administrative charges, 50 million carried. Annual verification exercise, 150 million carried. Pension running costs, 100 million carried. Medical retirees, 1,259,074,576 naira carried. Areas of 2017 to 2018 pension, 29,200,461,676 naira carried. Areas of 2017 to 2018 gratuity, 3,188,298,975 naira carried. Areas of 2017-2018 debt benefit, 694,846,403 naira carried. NHIS military retirees. Military retirees arrears, 2014 to 2018, 5,953,077,216 naira carried. NHIS military retirees, 3,571,846,330 naira carried. DIA civilian staff pension and gratuities. Pension 2018 arrears, 30,267,023 naira carried. Pension 95,194,166 naira carried. Gratuity 2018 arrears, 3,597,633 naira carried. Gratuity 95,937,162 naira carried. Verification exercise 6 million carried. Administrative charges 9,556,566 naira carried. Police pensions and gratuities pensions, 7,412,463,652 naira carried. Custom Immigration and Prison Pensions Office pensions, 8,420,000,000 carried. Universities pension including arrears pensions, 14,343,326,479 naira carried. Parastatals pension and railway pensions 26,756,754,031 naira carried. Pre-1996 Nigeria Railway Corporation pensions 2,257,298,262 naira, yes, carried. Department of State Security pension including arrears, 13,733,344,574 naira carried. Nigeria Intelligence Agency pensions dependents benefits, 3,709,146,567 naira carried. NEMCO pension arrears 16 billion 642 million 621,229 naira carried. Arrears of pension liabilities 10 billion carried. Arrears of 33% increase in pension rates 50 billion carried. Payment into redemption fund 5% of total pension cost is 73,995,745,200 naira carried. Pension protection fund. Wow, you need 10 billion to protect pensions. 10 billion carried. He's thinking, this one you sink with it, he's not going to sink. Yeah, you sink. Benefits of retired heads of service and permanent secretaries and professors, 4,502,491,809 carried. Severance benefits to retired heads of government agencies and parastatals, 1 billion carried. Entitlement of former president, heads of states and vice presidents, chief of general staff, 2.3 billion carried. Payment of outstanding terminal benefits of Nigeria Airways ex-workers, 22,682,832,166 naira carried. Severance gratuity for outgoing legislators and legislative aides, allowances for incoming legislators and legislative aides, an induction program inauguration of the 9th Assembly, 23,678,770,079 naira carried. Too small? Okay, we can increase it after. Payment of outstanding debt benefit to civil. This is other service-wide votes. Payment of outstanding debt benefits to civil servants, police, group life insurance for all MDS, including DSS, insurance of sensitive assets, corpus plus administration monitoring. No. We are taking two at the same time. So we revert. Payment of outstanding debt benefits to civil servants and police, 5 billion carried. Group life insurance for all MDS, including DSS, insurance of sensitive assets, corpus plus administration monitoring, 15 billion carried. Almost there. Public service wage adjustment for MDS, including arrears of promotion, salary increases, and payment of severance benefits, 160 billion carried. Military operations, Lafayette Dole, and other operations of the armed forces, 75 billion carried. Settlement of MDS electricity bill, 5 billion carried. IPP IS capturing, 2 billion carried. Payment of outsourced services. We will outsource it to Prestige. 2.5 billion. Margin for increases in costs and recurrent adjustment costs, presidential amnesty program reintegration of transform ex-militants, 65 billion. Again, you see where you're protesting. So are you going to protest this one? This is almost half of National Assembly budget as an arm of government. Carried. Okay, I took two. This margin for increases in costs and recurring adjustment costs is 4 billion. Carried. Presidential amnesty program reintegration of transform ex-militants, 65 billion. We've carried. Service-wide training of budget planning officers on GIFMIS, budget preparation system, BPS, as well as monitoring and evaluation of all projects nationwide, 2 billion. Special intervention program recurrent, 350 billion. Contingency recurrent, 15 billion 800 million. International sporting competition, 4 billion, carried. TSA operations, 4 billion, carried. Employee Compensation Act, Employees Compensation Fund, 4 billion, carried. Contributions to international organizations, 20 billion, carried. Power sector program transfer to NBET, 150 billion, 402 million, 49,347 naira, carried. Gavi immunization, 21 billion, 250 million, 424,823 naira, carried. Basic Healthcare Fund, 51 billion, 219 million, 751,964 naira, carried. Additional sports support for universities, 15 billion, carried. Total CFR charges, 1 trillion, 499 billion, 239 million, 743,423 naira, carried. Total recurrent non-debt, 4 trillion, 55 billion, 940 million, 383,684 naira, carried. Part D, capital expenditure, ministries, departments, and agencies. Presidency, 18 billion, 156 million, 273,668 naira, carried. It's unfortunate. Ministry of Defense, 159 million, 125 million, 439,612 naira, carried. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 7 billion, 549 million, 874,047 naira, carried. Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, 7 billion, 536 million, 672,066 naira, carried. Ministry of Interior, 53 billion, 678 million, 355,247 naira, carried. Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, 3 billion, 127 million, 326,734 naira, carried. Auditor General of the Federation, 188 million, 451,747 naira, carried. Ministry of Communication Technology, 5 billion, 30 million, 836,567 naira, carried. Office of the National Security Advisor, 33 billion, 872 million, 448,872 naira, carried. Infrastructure Concessionary Regulatory Commission, 320 million, 586,147 naira, carried. Office of the Secretary of Government of the Federation, 37 million, 636 million, 306,823 naira, carried. Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, 107 billion, 218 million, 344,102 naira, carried. Federal Ministry of Finance, 1 billion, 729 million, 708,700 naira, carried. Federal Ministry of Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment, 63,112,112,708 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, 10,180,952,829 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, 48,100,521,991 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Transportation, 179,384,331,427 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Power Works and Housing, 394,906,215,852 naira carried. Ministry of Petroleum Resources, 5,257,866,299 naira carried. Ministry of Mines, Steels and Development, 9,891,135. 9,891,135,562 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, 2,901,013,008 naira carried. National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, 201,037,348 naira. Fiscal Responsibility Commission, 111,306,657 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Water Resources, 92,178,020,778 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Justice, 2,116,262,589 naira carried. Independent Corrupt Practices and Related Offences Commission, 571,980,863 naira carried. Federal Capital Territory Administration, 23,592,93,146 naira carried. Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, 35,243,402,023 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, 4,078,486,817 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, 4,045,078,314 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Education, 58,689,905,930 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Health, 57,086,655,234 naira carried. Federal Ministry of Environment, 13,719,898,877 naira carried. National Population Commission, 3,131,137,537,499 naira carried. Total. Okay, this subtotal, we don't have to bother about it. Federal Executive Bodies, Code of Conduct Bureau, 514,099,154 naira carried. Code of Conduct Tribunal, 380,007,563 naira carried. Federal Character Commission, 386,373,456 naira carried. Federal Civil Service Commission, 173,062,977 naira carried. Police Service Commission, 967,950,858 naira carried. Revenue Mobilization Allocation Fiscal Commission, 206,491,685 naira carried. Capital Supplementation, Federal Government of Nigeria Special Intervention Program, capital, 50 billion carried. Federal Government of Nigeria's Special Intervention Program, Social Housing Family Homes Fund, 100 billion. Carried. Counterpart funding including Global Fund Health and Gavi Global Fund, 3.5 billion. Carried. Payment of local contractors, debts, other liabilities, 15 billion. Carried. Galaxy Backbone, 3 billion. Carried. This Galaxy Backbone has featured in almost 10 consecutive budgets now. I don't know what is the meaning of Galaxy Backbone. Galaxy. Okay. Chief Miss IPPIS Capital, 4 billion. WhatsApp, SDGs. SDG projects conditional grants, 38 billion. WhatsApp, SDGs payment of ongoing projects, 2 billion. WhatsApp, SDGs social safety net, 2,550 million. WhatsApp, SDG projects 1, 4 billion. WhatsApp, SDGs projects 2, 1.5 billion. WhatsApp, SDG project 3, 1,250 million. Recapitalization of development finance institution, 15 billion. Northeast Intervention Program, Fund. Pardon? Okay. Or Northeast?
Mr. Chairman, item 161 is supposed to be changed from Northeast Intervention Fund to Northeast Development Fund. Northeast Development Commission. Northeast Development Commission.
Yes.
Then also, we have to also capture the federal government intervention, that is in the next line. Federal government intervention in Zamfara State, 10 billion. Under capital supplementation.
Next line, where after the Northeast?
Yeah, Northeast Development Commission. After that, then we add federal government intervention in Zamfara State, 10 billion. Then it will now give a total of 8,916.
I'm coming.
Intervention in Zamfara State.
10 billion.
Yes, then it will give a total of aggregate expenditure of 8,916,964,000,000 and 99,373 naira.
So we're adding 10 billion. No 10 billion. Well, whether it's insertion or padding is necessary on behalf of our people who are dying in numbers. So we legislate for them. Honorable Jagaba.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to raise an observation about this Zamfara 10 billion. Okay, when that is passed, sir. Thank you.
So instead of Northeast Intervention Fund, we have Northeast Development Commission, 45 billion. Carried. So federal government of Nigeria intervention in Zamfara State. Honorable Jagaba.
Mr. Chairman, sir, the unbundling we are talking about, Mr. Speaker, affects Northwest, sir. The entire Northwest is affected. Just emphasis Zamfara and Kaduna, that I agree. But just demonstrate 10 billion or so under one state. When we have them in Kaduna and Katsina and Sokoto, all over the places in Northwest. Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that it should be Northwest.
Not Central.
Honorable Dennis Amadi.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for this opportunity. I need to inform us that this particular fund was initiated at the Senate, and it was because of a special security situation that we have presently now in Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, it was noted by the security agencies that because of the gold mining going on there, it created a special security challenge, which the government needed to re-establish control of what is going on. It was that particular thing that made the Senate to take that initiative, and then that's how we are doing it.
Honorable Toby.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I appreciate the peculiar situation of Zamfara, but I think we should also have a proper understanding that security challenges in the northwest is not peculiar to Zamfara. They've spilled over. Birnin is as much in the map as Zamfara, and it is in Kaduna State. In fact, you can say that it is the most dangerous part of the country. So I will say that it is better to say Zamfara and other affected areas. It will be better so that it gives a window for that kind of intervention.
Well, my understanding is that this provision is targeted in line with what Honorable Dennis has explained. But for other states, there are still funds everywhere. There are plenty of funds everywhere to take care of the IDP crisis. But this one is specifically to deal with the mining and pollution issues in Zamfara State, which we don't have in Birnin Gwari, in Kaduna, or southern part of Kaduna, where we have kidnapping. But monies have been provided in some other places for intervention generally relating to security. But this one is targeted as Zamfara State to deal with that situation. So the federal government of Nigeria intervention in Zamfara, 10 billion carried. Zonal intervention projects, 100 billion carried. Head of Service Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, 2 billion carried. Subscription of shares in international organization, 28 billion carried. National Development Plans, Ministry of Budget and National Planning, 1 billion carried. Capital exigencies, adjustment to capital costs, 5 billion carried. Contingency capital, 10 billion carried. Grants and donor-funded projects, 209,915,780,857 naira carried. Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PBEC, 500 million carried. Is this the first time we are providing for this, Honorable Mustafa? I've been a member of this council. I thought I was a member, but I didn't know that we have 500 million there. Grants to BOI to support low-interest lending to SMEs, 7 billion carried. National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, 1 billion carried. Total capital supplementation, 649 billion. No. So it's 659 instead of 6 because of 10 billion we added for Zamfara. So total capital supplementation is 659 billion. 215,780,857 naira only carried. Total capital expenditure, so it will move to 2 trillion 104 billion 950 million 709,632 naira carried. Aggregate expenditure, 8 trillion 916 billion 964 million 99,373 million naira only carried. Pardon? Yes, that's it now. No, it's 373 naira. It's 916, of course. Yes. So that is what we read. Observation on what? Deputy Whip.
Mr. Chairman, I think what really changed was the subtotal of capital supplementation and not capital expenditure.
Yeah, I think I agree with the Deputy Whip.
Yeah.
because the 10 billion we have added is on capital supplementation, not total capital expenditure. So the total capital expenditure will go back there, remains 2 trillion 94 billion 950 million 709,632 naira only. Carried. So we've removed the 10 billion which we added there, because the 10 billion is added in capital supplementation. So that brings the aggregate, the two totals now, to 8 trillion 916 billion 964 million 99,373 naira only. Perfect. So we now go back to page 2.
Chairman, I think we also have to amend the explanatory memorandum, which also closing.
We are not there yet, Chairman, Rules and Business. Deputy Leader. No, we'll come back to the explanatory memorandum. We have to go back down to page 2. Yes, that's the back cover of the front page. So we'll take it from the clauses there, where you have clause 1, which is the issue and appropriation of the total amount of money we've just read. So clause 1 carried, but there's a correction there. Deputy Leader.
I'm concerned about the chairman's colleagues. I'm concerned about the budget cycle period ending. Say here ending December 2019. And I believe these budgets are just about to be signed, and we're already in the month of May. If we put it at May, December 2019, we'll be changing the budget cycle by more than about 4 or 5 months. No. What do we actually
Deputy Leader, where did you get, okay, ending on 31st day of December 2019. But there's a clause that said that the budget should run for 12 months. Clause 12. Clause 12 says what? Chairman, appropriation. Clause 11. Clause 11, in line with the provisions section 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, this bill will run for a course of 12 months, starting from the date it is assented to into law. Yes.
Still with that, it doesn't work right, because you are already tying this one to a particular period of time. There may be a complement. So what I would suggest that we should write for the year, budget cycle for the year 2019. Would that say December? Tie it to December?
No, Deputy Leader, I don't think there is any issue there. The clause 11 is re-emphasizing the provision of the Constitution. So anything contrary to the provision of the Constitution is even null and void. So what should guide us is just this clause 11. Forget about what you are seeing in clause 1. That one is just for aesthetics. Yes. As inconsistent as the chief whip is. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. You have said yes.
Chairman, no. It can't be yes.
You have accepted that you are inconsistent, so it's God that caught you. So clause 1 carried, but the correction is that it's 8 trillion 916 million 964 million 99,373 naira carried. Release of funds from Consolidated Revenue Fund, clause 2 carried. Clause 3 environment carried. Clause 4 corrigendum carried. Clause 5 excess revenue carried. Clause 6 authorization carried. Clause 7, information of fund releases carried. Clause 8, due process certification carried. 9, information internally generated revenue carried. Information extra budgetary foreign assistance carried. Clause 11, commencement carried. Clause 12, interpretation carried. Then we move to explanatory memorandum. Rules and business. Chairman, you had an observation on long title.
Yes, sir. It is to amend the figure in line 2 from 8,906 to 916 million.
Explanatory memorandum as amended, carried. Long title, carried. I guess that's all. Any more things? Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that this House revert to plenary.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Chairman, it's very good. I rise to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House.
Those in favor of the motion? Yes. Those in favor of the motion? Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. House hereby reverts to plenary to report progress. The honorable colleagues, this is the report of the Committee of Supply. The House and the Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on Appropriations, the bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation total sum of 8,916,964,099,373 million, of which 502 billion, 58 million, 892,965 naira only is for statutory transfers, while 2,254 billion, 14 million, 113,092 naira only is for debt service. 4,055,940,383,684 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 2,094,950,709,632 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st of December 2019, and approve clauses 1 to 12, the schedules, the explanatory memorandum as amended, and the long title thereto, the long title of the bill. Leader, do we move for adoption of the report?
What is tertiary and the works? What are they?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move for the adoption of the
Deputy Leader.
Speaker, respected colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. So, honorable colleagues, will continue with the consideration of reports, depending on how far the DS is prepared to go. We are taking order 15, so we move to order 16, which is consideration of bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Film Corporation Act, Chapter N109, Rules and Business. Do we have the strength?
No strength. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, Honorable Boni wants to travel and he has some bills.
I'm a member of the office committee. I'll handle it.
Okay. So, Boni, please, you hand it over to him. We will take them on Thursday. But I think, so that we do not suffer from diminishing returns.
Getting the mood of the House and the day having been well spent, and we having done justice to Nigerians in passing the appropriation bill 2019, I think it's only fit and proper that this House adjourn to the next legislative day. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
No, you are moving that we step down other businesses. Yes, but not for adjournment. So, Seconder, Honorable Dende.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Emmanuel Bemgao. I represent Katsina Logo Federal Constituency. I second the motion as moved by Chairman Rules and Business Association.
Those in favor of the motion or item step down by leave of the House. There was no need for a seconder. Two announcements, honorable colleagues, before we adjourn. First is notice of meeting. There will be a meeting of all APC members tomorrow at 11 a.m. Venue Bond Hotel, Conference Room, Asokoro. Announcer is House Leader. 11 a.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. And then there's the ad hoc committee to investigate the non-remittance of trillions of naira stamp duties into the Federation account. Membership, Honorable Abubakar Yunusa, Chairman, Honorable Kunle Akillade, Member, Honorable Abubakar Nuhu Dambara, Member, Honorable Osi Prestige Osi, Member, Honorable Mohammed Gololo, Member, Honorable Ahmed Tijani, Member, Honorable Ubaide Ihama, Member, Honorable Rajiwale, Member, Honorable Magaji Dao Aliu, Member. Honorable Goni Bukar, Member. But you say you are traveling. Okay, Leader.
No, sorry, I was just trying to. Honorable Wokolo, can you please sit properly? Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move that this House stand adjourned till tomorrow.
You see, because of his joke,
tomorrow is Wednesday, and members of the House are used to working. But now I realize it's a public holiday, so we'll adjourn to Thursday, 11 a.m.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House.
Here, House hereby adjourned to Thursday, 11 a.m.